What if I told you that the reason you keep swiping, matching, ghosting, or being ghosted has less to do with the people on your screen and more to do with the person holding it? Yes, you, right now. What if Socrates, the man who made Athens uncomfortable by asking too many questions, suddenly appeared next to you while you're scrolling Tinder, Bumble, or Hinge? He leans over, looks at your screen, and instead of asking who you're matching with, he asks something far more terrifying. Do you even know yourself? Let's be honest. Most people don't go on dating apps purely for love. Some go out of boredom, some out of loneliness, some out of ego. We swipe for validation as much as for connection. And if you've ever closed the app after hours of scrolling, feeling strangely emptier than before, you know this truth. Because somewhere inside, a quiet voice whispers, if I don't even understand what I want, how can I possibly find it? That whisper? That's Socrates. He lived thousands of years ago, in a world without push notifications or endless swipes. But his words cut deeper than any algorithm. The unexamined life is not worth living. Picture it. You're sitting across from Socrates in a dim cafe. He has his rough cloak, his unkempt beard, his piercing eyes. He takes your phone, scrolls through Tinder, and chuckles softly. What are you seeking here? He asks. You say, a relationship, someone who gets me. He raises an eyebrow. And do you get yourself? Awkward silence, because most of us don't know what we're truly looking for. We chase beauty, status, validation, but rarely truth. We look at profiles like shopping lists, forgetting that behind every face is a soul, and behind every soul is a question mark. Let's not pretend dating apps are pure evil. They're just tools. They connect people. They create possibility. The deeper problem is how we use them. We approach dating apps as if we're curating a brand, carefully selecting photos, crafting witty bios, hiding the messy truths. We sell ourselves. But who is buying? And what is the product? Socrates would stop you right there. He'd say, you are not a commodity. You are not a collection of flattering selfies and clever lines. You are a soul in search of meaning. Why reduce yourself to a marketplace? Yet here we are, scrolling, swiping, consuming others as if they were products on a shelf. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Dating apps don't just reveal who's out there. They reveal you. They reflect your hidden fears, your insecurities, your impatience. They expose whether you're seeking love or simply escape. If you find yourself endlessly chasing validation, ask, what wound is driving me? If you ghost people when things get too real, ask, what truth am I afraid to face? Socrates would never let you escape these questions. He would corner you, force you to sit with your discomfort until you admitted what you really want. And sometimes, the answer is unsettling. We don't want love as much as we want distraction. In ancient Athens, love wasn't just romance, it was a philosophical pursuit. The Greeks spoke of eros, the passionate longing that drives us beyond ourselves. But they also knew eros could destroy as much as it creates. Socrates, through Plato's dialogues, suggested that true love is not about possessing someone. It's about being provoked by them into self-knowledge. Think about that. Not finding the perfect match, not falling in love with your soulmate, but being challenged by another human being in such a way that you discover who you are. Contrast that with today's culture of swiping. Do dating apps encourage us to grow or to stay comfortable in endless surface-level encounters? Psychologists today talk about the paradox of choice. The more options you have, the harder it is to choose, and the less satisfied you feel with what you choose. Dating apps are the perfect storm of this paradox. Thousands of faces, endless possibilities, the illusion of abundance, yet the more we swipe, the more restless we become. Socrates would smirk and say, you are thirsty, yet you drink salt water. We drown ourselves in choice, but never quench the deeper thirst for meaning, intimacy, and truth. Let's make this personal. Think back to your last match. The excitement, the dopamine hit, then maybe the disappointment when the conversation fizzled or the person wasn't what you imagined. Now ask yourself, was I looking for them or was I looking for me? Because so often what we want is not the other person, but the feeling they awaken in us of being seen, desired, chosen. Socrates would press you harder. If you only seek yourself in another, are you truly loving them or just using them as a mirror? So what does it mean to know yourself in the age of Tinder? It means daring to ask questions that most people avoid. Do I actually want love or am I afraid of being alone? Am I looking for a partner or for an escape from myself? Do I confuse attraction with attention and attention with worth? Self-knowledge is terrifying because it strips away illusions, but it also frees you. When you know yourself, you don't swipe endlessly out of fear. You don't chase validation like a drug. You approach relationships not as a consumer, but as a human being willing to be transformed. Here's the paradox. If you go on dating apps without self-knowledge, you will almost certainly misuse them. But if you truly know yourself, you may realize you don't need them at all. Because love, real love, rarely comes from chasing. It comes from being, from becoming so alive, so awake, that others are drawn to you, not because of your profile, but because of your presence. Socrates never swiped right, but he inspired people to fall in love with wisdom, with truth, with the pursuit of something higher. Maybe that's the real lesson. The more you know yourself, the less desperate you become for others to define you. So if Socrates sat beside you tonight as you opened your dating app, he wouldn't ask who you're matching with. He wouldn't even ask if you're looking for love. He'd ask, before you seek another, have you met yourself? And that question would stay with you, long after the swiping, the ghosting, the fleeting highs and painful lows. It would echo every time you chase attention instead of truth, every time you confuse validation with intimacy. Because in the end, the greatest love story begins not with a match but with self-discovery. And maybe, just maybe, that's the one story worth living. So, would Socrates swipe right? No. He'd put the phone down, look you in the eyes, and say, the real question is, would you?